Hello and welcome to Vinyasa Yoga with Jasmine. As always, please consult with your doctor before starting any new exercise routine, and be sure to listen to your body and stop or take modifications if any pain occurs. Hi everyone, I'm Jasmine, and we'll start by bringing the legs in to find an easy seated pose, pulling the flesh away from the sits bone so you can sit up nice and tall. Place the hands on the knees and close the eyes. Start by taking some deep cleansing breaths, breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep breathing nice and deep on your own timing. And imagine the crown of the head floating upward. And each time you breathe out, you want to relax those shoulders more and more away from the ears. Bow the head forward and gently blink the eyes open. If you're mirroring me, take the left hand and gently pull the head to the shoulder, stretching the side of the neck. Dip the chin to the chest and roll the head around to stretch the other side. Again, chin to chest, rolling the head around, back to the first side. And again. And finding the head back up to a vertical position. Inhale, both arms reach up, big stretch. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Inhale, left arm reaches up and over. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale, recover. And exhale, place it down. Inhale, right arm stretches up and over. Exhale, reaching long. Inhale, recover. And exhale, place it down. And we'll do this one more time. Fingers reach nice and long. Now from here, we're going to start to curve our body over the front of our legs. Still reaching as far as we can. Fingertips graze the floor in front of us. And then rising up, leading with the back of the head. And to the other side. Inhale, right arm comes up. Exhale, stretch. And continuing to breathe here, rounding around in front of yourself. Fingers graze the floor. And rising up to vertical. Let's try that again. Energy through the fingertips, reaching as far as you can. Should feel a nice long stretch in the lumbar spine as you bring your upper body around to the front. Good. Find your way to your hands and knees now. Tabletop position, so shoulders directly over wrists, hips directly over knees. And we'll take a few cat-cows here. So inhaling, arching the spine, chest is lifted upward. Exhale, curve the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, dropping the belly, chin is lifted. Exhale, belly button to spine, hollowing everything out. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Go ahead and continue with a few more of these at your own pacing. Finish up your last rep and meet me here in a neutral tabletop position. From here, tuck the toes. Send the hips up and back to find your first downward dog. Knuckles are flat to the mat, pressing up out of the shoulders. And you can tread the feet here. Just do whatever feels good to you. Just really getting into this first big hamstring stretch. Being sure you're continuing to breathe. And on your next inhale, bend the knees, look forward, and exhale, walk the feet up to the hands. Leading with the back of the head, inhale to rise up, palms touch overhead. Exhale, arms float down by the sides. Starting with our half sun salutation, inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to shins, inhale halfway up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising up, leading with the back of the head, palms to touch. And exhale, arms down by the sides. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold with a flat back. Hands to shins, inhale, draw the chest forward and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up, long spine, palms to touch. Exhale, arms down by the sides. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to shins, inhale, flat back. This is called monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, long spine to rise up. And exhale, arms down by the sides. And take a moment here in Tadasana or mountain pose. Now moving into our full sun salutation. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Hands to shins, inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hand, step back to plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower, elbows in. Inhale, draw the chest forward and up to find cobra. Exhale, lower. Tuck the toes, inhale, pressing up to plank. And exhale, send the hips back to downward dog. And breathe here. On your next inhale, bend the knees, look forward. And exhale, walk the feet up to the hands. Hands to shins, inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up, long spine, palms to touch. Exhale, arms down by the sides. Good, let's take that flow again, and this time I'll show a modification option. So inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to shins, inhale to monkey pose. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward, lower the knees. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, pressing into the palms to find cobra. Exhale, fold. Tuck the toes, inhale, pressing up to a modified plank. And exhale, send the hips up and back to downward dog. So always an option to lower the knees to do that chaturanga. You can also lower the knees to find child's pose at any point during your practice if you're feeling lightheaded or you just need a little break. Otherwise, we'll stay right up here in downward dog. Inhale to bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, walk the feet to the hands. Hands to shins, inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising up, palms to touch. Exhale, arms by the sides. Moving on, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Hands to shins, inhale, halfway up, chest draws up and forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, slowly lower, elbows in. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Tuck the toes. Inhale, pressing up to plank. And exhale, downward dog. And continue breathing. On your next inhale, right leg rises up. Exhale, toes point toward the ground for three-legged dog. Continue breathing here as you find your stance. You want both hips parallel to the ground. This is very closed, so the hips are not opening just yet. Leg does not need to be high. On your next inhale, bring that knee in toward your right elbow to touch. And exhale, stretching it back out long. Inhale, knee in, activating those abs. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, knee in. Exhale, stretch. And continuing to breathe here. Now pointing the right foot and extending that leg upward long, opening the hip up and letting the knee bend. Just flop that shin over. Still firmly planting both palms into the mat. You can really open up that hip. And now extending that leg straight and lowering it down to meet the other. On your next inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, walk the feet up to the hands. Hands to shins, inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising up, long spine. And exhale, arms down by the sides. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Hands to shins, inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Inhale, shift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Tuck the toes, inhale, plank. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg rises up. Exhale, toes point toward your mat, hips are parallel. Breathe here. Pushing up out of your shoulders. On your next inhale, you're going to bring your knee to the outside of your left elbow. And exhale, stretching long. Inhale, knee in. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, knee in. Exhale, stretch. Extending that leg upward with a pointed foot, bending the knee, letting the shin just flop over to open the hip. Nice hip flexor stretch. And extending the leg back long and lowering down to meet the other. On your next inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, walk the feet in. Hands to shins. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, arms down. And take a moment here to gaze in Tadasana. Moving on. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to shins. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. And breathing here. This time lifting the right leg up with a pointed foot. Raising it up high. And when you're ready, swinging that leg through to find a low lunge. If you need to, grab that leg and bring it forward so the knee is directly over the ankle to create a right angle. From here, you're going to inhale the arms up and exhale, relax the shoulders away from the ears to find Warrior One. Warrior One, you want the feet to be slightly separated, like you're on train tracks. Back heel should be flat to the mat. If you find your back heel is popping up, just simply shorten your stance and really bring that back hip forward. So you want both hips pointing toward your front. Moving on, bring the hands to prayer pose in front of the heart. On your next inhale, shift the weight forward into that front leg. And exhale, lifting the back toes off of the ground to find Warrior Three. Back toes should be pointing down toward your mat, just like in three-legged dog. Hips are parallel to your mat. You want to imagine a straight line running from the back of your heel through the crown of your head. Option here to extend the arms out in front of you. I don't have room to do so. Now activating that core, bringing yourself up to vertical, trying to keep that foot off the ground. Knee comes high, and left foot crosses over the right quad. Let the knee fall open as you sit down into a chair to find Figure Four. Option here to extend the arms up. still keeping the back of the neck long and shoulders down away from the ears. Very good. Bring the hands back to prayer. Slowly rise up and gently place the left foot down next to the other. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Hands to shins. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Inhale, shift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. Continuing to breathe here. This time, left leg rises up, straight leg, pointed toe. Letting it raise up nice and high, get a nice stretch before you're ready to swing it through to a low lunge. If you need to, grab that leg, bring it forward. So front foot is completely flat. Inhale the arms up and exhale, relax. Remember, back heel is flat to the mat. Shoulders are down. Warrior one. If it feels like you're straining, you can always shorten your stance. Bring the hands to prayer. Inhale, shift the weight forward, and exhale, finding your balance. Right toes are pointing down toward the mat. Think of pulling that belly button up toward the spine. An option to extend the arms out if you did so on the other side. Keep breathing. Hands come back to prayer. Slowly rise up to vertical, swinging that leg through, placing the right foot flexed, crossing over the left quad, and sitting back into a chair to find figure four. Option to extend the arms. Keep your gaze just a few feet in front of you. Hands back to prayer pose, slowly rising up and releasing that right leg, placing it down next to your left. Okay, moving on. Grounding down to all four corners of the feet. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Inhale, shift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Tuck the toes. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, swing it through to a lunge. Inhale, windmill the arms up to find warrior two. And breathe here. Front heel should be in line with your back arch. So it should be like you're on a tightrope now. Start to reach your front arm far out past your front leg, and then rest the forearm on the inner thigh. Top arm stretches up and overhead. Really press up out of that shoulder so you're not sinking. And the gaze can come up to the top hand. Our goal is to open up that chest as much as you can to the wall in front of you. Now coming out of that and moving into reverse warrior, front arm now reaches high up above, and back hand can be placed on the upper thigh. Still want a deep lunge in that front leg. And coming up out of that, one more time, reaching far out past your front leg, resting that forearm on the inner thigh. Top arm reaches up above, nice and long. And again, coming out of that to find reverse warrior. This time straightening that front leg, getting a nice stretch. And coming back up to vertical, this time reaching far out past that leg and placing the front hand on the shin. Top arm reaches high up above. Option here to also place that hand on the upper thigh. Really stack those shoulders and open up the chest. Slight bend in the front knee so we're not locking it out. Now grounding down into that front foot and bending the front knee back to warrior two. This time windmilling the arms down in front of you and stepping back to your plank and downward dog. On your next inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, walk the feet to the hands. Hands to shins, inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, palms to touch. And exhale, arms down by the sides. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Hands to shins, inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, pressing into the palms, neck is long. Exhale, lower. Inhale, pressing up, and exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, swing it through to a low lunge. Inhale, windmill the arms up to find warrior two. And exhale, settle into your pose. Shoulders relax down away from the ears. Think of putting pressure into the blade of the back foot so the arch is not collapsing. Breathing here, start to reach that front arm far out past your front leg and then rest the forearm on the inner thigh. Top arm reaches over and long. Pressing up out of the shoulder, opening up that chest, very active position. Continuing to breathe, coming out of that to find reverse warrior. Front arm reaches up high. Back hand can be placed on the thigh. And coming out of that, one more time, reaching the front arm far out past the front leg, resting the forearm on the inner thigh. Top arm reaches over and long. Energy through the fingertips here. Really opening up that side body. And coming out of that to find your reverse warrior for the last time. This time reaching through the fingertips, pull that front leg straight. And now with a micro bend in the front knee, reaching far out past that leg and placing the hand on the shin. Top arm reaches high up above. Again, slight bend in the knee, pressure into the ball of the foot. And when you're ready, grounding down to that front leg, reaching up to vertical, bending back into warrior two, and windmilling the arms down on either side of the foot to step back and finding your downward dog. Breathe here. On your next inhale, bend the knees, look forward, and exhale, walk the feet up to the hands. Hands to shins, inhale halfway up. Exhale, melt down. Inhale all the way up, long spine, palms to touch. Exhale, arms down. And take a moment here in mountain pose. Nice. Now let's face the long edge of our mat, or face your video screen, and take a parallel stance just a few inches in between the feet. Ground down into all four corners of the feet, and then shift the weight over into your left foot, lifting the right foot off the ground, knee comes high. And I want you to try to reach for that foot and clasp the hands around it. If this feels good, you're welcome to stay here, or you can attempt to extend that leg out long in front of you, trying to keep the spine long so we're not hunching over our leg. Option to stay here, or take your first two fingers and your thumb and grab that big toe, same arm as leg, extending the left arm up long and trying to really find your balance. Last option is to take that leg out to the side, being sure to keep the right hip down. For an extra challenge, you can take the gaze over to your left hand, gazing right over those fingertips. Breathe here. When you're ready to come out of this, just reverse your pathway and try to come back exactly where you started, before gently placing that leg down to meet the other. We'll take an inhale here, arms come up, big stretch, and exhale, relax them down. Preparing for the other side, shift the weight over into the right foot, lifting the left foot up, knee is high, and grab hold of that foot. Option to extend the leg here if you did so on the other side. Another option, grab that big toe with your peace fingers, extend the right arm up long. And final option is to bring that leg out to the side, keeping the left hip down. Maybe challenging yourself here and bringing your gaze over your right fingertips. When you're ready to come out of it, just reverse your pathway, going back to exactly where you started with the knee high. Try not to fall out of it. And then gently place that foot back down to meet the other. Starting to wind down the class now, let's take one more of our flows. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Hands to shins. Inhale, draw the chest forward and up. Exhale, melt down. Step back to plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, pressing up to plank. And exhale, downward dog. And let's take a couple breaths here. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Really trying to relax into this stretch after all of that leg work we just did. And now gently bring the knees down to meet your mat. Uncurl the toes and bring the knees as wide as the mat, then send the hips back to sit on the feet. Arms stretch long out in front of you for modified child's pose. Really try to breathe into the lower back here. And then we'll walk our hands over to the right side, feeling that nice lumbar stretch. And then walking the hands back to the center. Then walking the hands over to the left side. Continuing to breathe, and then bringing the hands back to the center. Now gently come out of this pose to find tabletop position, and just take a few cat-cows here like we did in the beginning. Inhaling to arch the back, and exhaling to round chin to chest. If you want, you can continue with just plain cat-cows, or you can circle the head and the hips around for a little more of a dynamic stretch. Finish up your last rep here. And then slowly bring the hips back to sit on the feet. We'll take just a moment of stillness here. When you're ready, you can find your way slowly onto your back. Now bring the feet in toward the hips and place them flat on the mat. Knees just a few inches apart. Hands are flat to the mat as well. From here, continuing to breathe deeply, you're going to peel the pelvis off the mat, raising it high up into the air. Trying to go as high as you can go, and once you've reached that point, try to see if you can let go of the glute muscles. So the butt relaxes, and you should feel the hamstrings kick in at this point. Option here to roll the shoulder blades underneath the back for more of a chest opener. You can also clasp the hands. When you're ready to come down, unclasp the hands, heels come up, and slowly lower the hips down toward the mat. Place the heels down, walk the feet out as wide as your mat, and just let the knees collapse inward to rest for a moment. We'll try that again, bringing the feet back into parallel. Hands are flat to the mat. And breathing through as you lift the pelvis up toward the ceiling. You can roll the shoulder blades underneath the back, clasp the hands if that's available to you. And again, trying to let go of those glute muscles. See if you can just let the hamstrings do the work. Keep breathing. When you're ready to come down, unclasp the hands, lift the heels, and slowly lower the hips to the ground. Lower the heels, walk the feet out as wide as your mat, and let the knees collapse inward for a moment of rest. Really nice. Let's bring both knees in. Give yourself a little hug. And from here, you can rock back and forth, giving the lower back a massage. And now extending the right leg out long in front of you. Take the right hand and pull the left knee across the body for a supine stretch. Left hand reaches to the side, and we're trying to keep that left shoulder on the ground. Keep breathing deeply here. With each breath, see if you can just relax that knee closer and closer to the ground. Getting a nice stretch along the IT band, and maybe a little in the chest as well. Now slowly bring that left knee back to your center. Bring both knees up again. Give yourself a little hug. This time extending the left leg out long. Take the left hand and pull the right knee across the body. Again, right arm reaches out to the side, trying to keep the right shoulder glued to the ground. Taking deep breaths, and with each breath trying to just relax into that stretch, letting go of any tension you might be holding. Now gently start to bring that right knee back to your center, bringing both knees in again to give yourself one more big hug. Feel free to do some hip circles here, whatever kind of feels good at this point. Bring the chin to the chest for one more spinal curve. And then just relax everything down. Extend the legs out in front of you. Let them just fall naturally open to the sides. Arms can rest at your sides as well. And just melt everything into the floor, preparing for Savasana or corpse pose. And spending some time here to just relax and appreciate all of the hard work you just did. You can close the eyes if you'd like, and just come back to those deep cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. You're welcome to stay here in Shavasana for as long as you need to. Otherwise, you can start to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, just bring the body back to life. Now gently just roll yourself over to one side, using your arm as a brace. And when you're ready, keeping the gaze soft, you can slowly start to press yourself up to find a seated position. Now bringing the hands to prayer in front of the heart, focusing on everything we just did. Gently bow your upper body forward. Bring the prayer hands up to the forehead. And just give yourself a silent pat on the back for coming to the mat today and putting in the work. Thanks for joining me, and as we always say, namaste. Gently bow the head forward and blink the eyes open. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned for more, or if you're in the Pacific Northwest area of Washington State, you can reach out to me for more information about my in-person classes.